The present moment has a way of rippling into the future and also rippling backwards into the past and looking ahead into the future for our nation and the world. At this moment, it looks devastating because I'm able to see a major stock market crash causing the bankruptcy of millionaires and billionaires individually and collectively, including corporations around the world. In the vision, I can also see U.S. military bases at home and abroad being attacked. But the most devastating part of it is that after Trump's inauguration in January of 2025, the political figures that oppose him, including past U.S. presidents, will launch again an all-out attack, trying to blame the Trump administration for the collapse. But in the meantime, I began to see in the spring, in April and May, a blooming of the flowers and the growing of the trees and the warm weather coming in as we changed the equinox. And I began to see an assembly of countries around the world, including the United States and Russia and North Korea and China, beginning to come together and to form back a sense of stability in the world. But there will be lots of bloodshed before this occurs. You must remember, we live in a three-dimensional world. But in this three-dimensional world, it's a world of polarities, a world of opposites. We are affected by electromagnetic thought impulses that generate from the fourth density, the lower realm of the fourth density, and the upper realm of the fourth density. What many would call the realm of heaven, and the lower realm of the fourth dimension, the realm of hell. It's part of the growing process, the educational process for us. And our simulation doesn't come outside. The simulation is what we create within us. But because of this very powerful electromagnetic thought impulse waves that are now being controlled in social media, mainstream media, the banking industry, science, and even through the religious cabals around the world, the very evil, secretive religious groups that want to destroy humanity and capture them and bind them and make them their slaves, we see a bright light on the horizon as more people begin to move from their physical mind into their higher mind. Instead of being half-witted, they began to see the big picture like an eagle soaring high. For on top of the mountain is our higher self. As we, with a portion of our spirit, are walking the earth in flesh and blood, we can only see but so far in front of us. But the more that we tune in and connect to our higher self, our higher mind, and learn to integrate the physical and the spiritual aspect of us in spirit, we begin to awaken and remember who we really are. That our true state is spirit. So look for things to get rather rough, but look for things to begin to smooth out. But unfortunately, as I'm able to see into the future, millions and millions of people are going to perish. It's going to be a rough and rocky ride up until the spring of 2025.